Ladies and gents, welcome. We're going to do a little VSD screen cables shoot. I don't know. We're just fucking around in the shed here, boys. So I've got some offcuts from the mechanical sparkies at work, and we're going to have a look into them. I'm going to show you some tricks on how I strip VSD cable. I've got a copper screened, what do you call this, Radox cable, like the fire rated stuff. I asked on Instagram the other day what the hell would you screen cable with a copper screen for. I didn't really get too many good answers. Magnetic field, interference. So, if anyone knows, like, bang a comment and we'll get the knowledge out there, you know what I mean? So I'll flip this up on the tripod ski thing and we'll have a look. Pretty well. Knife and pliers and basics, eh? So, sticker wall. If you want a sticker, or if you want to swap a sticker, hit me up and I'll make it happen. Let's get into it. Alright, well, recording these things is a pain in the bum ski because I can't have the music on, but what do you do? Doing it for the boys and girls. Right, so this is a VSD cable. It looks like a 2.5mm. Should probably check before I look like a real dunce. 2.5, yeah. So this is a typical cable for if you've got a variable speed drive and you need to power a motor. Basically it gives you some speed control. So in a nutshell, if you're really new. I'm going to show you my method for stripping this stuff. And when you do strip this stuff, manufacturers typically want you to terminate the shield into the housing of the VSD, and sometimes, depending on your manufacturer, they will also want you to terminate the shield at the motor terminals, so you double it up with the earth. So I'm going to show you how I strip this stuff, more for the VSD end rather than the terminal end, so we'll have a little bit more cable, and yeah, we'll just get into it. I like just using the Stanley, so I should probably check. Yeah, I'm still in. I've got the phone in a position where I can't really check what's going on, so. Right, so basically it's freezing at the moment, okay, so I'm gonna use that as my caveat. This is much easier to strip in summer. So we work it around. So that's exposed the shield. Now it's just a bit of a beast mode move. Okay, so now we've got the shield exposed. Really simple. Just at this end, just release it and bunch it up. Nice bunchy move, all right? So what we do then, some people, and I've seen this before, some people will pick this apart. They'll just undo the braid. You start at the top here, you undo the braid. It's slow, it's tedious, it's an absolute waste of time. The best way to do it, I found, and sort of the way I was shown initially. I was shown a couple of different ways, but this is, I think, the best way. So we make a bit of a hole here, get your terminal, just work it around, okay? And we just slowly work it around. Because it's quite loose, we keep bunching it up. You eventually get to the point where you are almost the whole way around, and you can see, I don't know how well you can see this, but the screwdriver's just about to poke through, and I'm on the other side of the braid, screen, braid, whatever, okay? So once we're at this point, we just bend the cable, give it a good bit of flex, all right? And you're sort of just working it. Probably a good idea to use gloves. A lot of these spikies, I didn't strip down the cable, but those spikies are a little bit yucky. Anyway, so we just work this. And again, it's a little easier if it's cold. Warmer, rather. Okay. Once we got it there. old screwdriver in, you can really oh man, this is hard when it's freaking 10 degrees. But it's coming. There. Okay, there we go. Right, and we're done. Got it off. Now, I'll hear a lot of you going, oh, fucking bending radius. Bollocks. I've terminated hundreds and hundreds of motors like this. I've never had an issue, not once, okay? And give it a little bit of wiggle, straighten it back out, and you're pretty well set. All right, so then, simply, well, might as well do it, won't we? We'll give that a little strip. We'll just see where we're at. All right. Give it a bit of a wiggle, give it a wiggle, work it. I'm only etching that, and the last little bit is manipulation to get the cores. Right. Not too much coke in these cables. Right, so now that you've got your screen, now a little bit of black heat shrink makes this look absolutely mintastic. Okay, and if you're working on a panel, $1 million machine, get some red, what is it? Green and yellow heat shrink, the earth heat shrink, and you can pull this nice and tight like this. Okay, even give it a little twist if you need to, just to keep it nice and in. And black heat shrink over here like this, and then have the green heat shrink on the braid to whatever length you need. All right, now another little tip. This depends on your engineering team or your engineer of the project that you're doing. If they're okay with you using this tip, I'd go for it, because this is a really nice, easy way to make your panels look a lot neater. Now, typically where you're terminating these VSD screens is very close to where you're actually terminating the earth from the cable onto the VSD as well. So what I've been known to do is actually double these up. This is what I was saying about undoing the braid. I mean, if you had to undo this much braid, you can see how long this is going to take. I'll just undo it so it binds a little better with our cable. Right, product placement for Voltex. No worries, boys. Right. So we'll just pretend this is a little bit longer. Okay, so loosen these up. Yep. Just give that a nice twist together. Well, actually, I'm gonna back up on a second, because there is something probably a little bit important I probably should have done. You really should twist these together first, and then give the braid a wrap around. The reason is that you want minimum resistance on your earth joint. You don't want to have sort of, this is not going to have as good resistance characteristics as copper on copper. Right, so simply just put our BP on there. I would always use a 2-screw BP for this. Don't do it up tight, I don't know the Phillips. But now you've got the braid connected in with your earth in your duct. You're going to have some cable duct here, and then you've just got a tail that you hook up onto your VSD, and you got to admit that looks nice and neat compared to having, you know, this and heat shrink crap everywhere. All right, so that's pretty much it, boys. That's my couple of tips for this, you know, the screen, VSD screen. We'll move on to the copper, I think. So I'll just pause this and we'll reset. All right, now this one isn't so much a stripping demo as I'm just interested in this particular cable. So we'll just have a look. Radox is pretty painful to strip on a good day. Oh, there it is. That braid, copper braid. We'll just take that down for a second. We'll just have a look at the conductors in this cable. I'll just cable tie it, actually. That's probably easier. Heaps of firework isn't really my bag. That's not what I'm into typically. I'm not sure what this cable is supposed to be, you know, rated to time-wise in a burning building situation. And I'm not sure if the inner core insulation is different either, or whether it's just this outer core. Oh, interesting. So that looks like flex, but it's still got another insulating layer on the inside. Let's just delve a little deeper. Alright, so that's got another insulating layer. Sort of ribbon type. And there, finally, we get to the core. It's actually a stranded cable. I thought this was flex. Mind you, it feels like flex. Pretty freaking tough cable. Right, so just as a bit of a look, I suppose, but it's going to focus. Yeah, so my thoughts on this is either magnetic shielding, which I'm not sure makes a whole lot of sense, but I've done some MRI rooms in the past and they literally sheet the entire room with copper, and it's partially to reduce the magnetic field, I think, or it's just plain old interference base, or it could be structural to help the cable support in a fire situation. So if you do know, leave a comment, because I'm interested, and you know, maybe we can get the knowledge out there. So yeah, interesting. I haven't worked with too much Radox in the past. It's the odd lift supply, that sort of thing, where I will run the cable terminated in the main board, and the lift guys will terminate it in their panel. But yeah, anyway, just something to have a look at. Yeah. Anyway, we can have a look at the other VSD cable, but it's largely the same. It's a little bit bigger, and I think it's just got parallel earths, and the reason it would do that is to this fucking thing focus, mate. Focus. Yeah. Just parallel earths to, you know, make the cable a little bit more, it's easy to be round. Fuck it, we'll delve. All right. You talked me into it. We'll delve. Now, doing the same trick with this cable will be considerably harder. So, oh my God, that's not even straight. I'll just have a looky-loo in this cable. Oh, mate, really solid. Oh, there we go. Oh. Just another little tidbit. You definitely want to do that rather than knife into the actual shield, because like I said on the other one, man, if it gets little spikies, like they can go right into your skin, that's freaking horrible. Yeah, enough pulling the dick jokes, come on. Oh, Jesus. That is freaking tough. We might have to... help things along. Okay. Oh, jeez. It's tough out of insulation, that's for sure. Well, there's our first difference. It's got a nice wrap on it. So, well, there's a little development. This is actually a single. Well, it's not really single, is it? I guess in a way, it is still a double insulated cable. You've got an outer sheath and inner cores, but this, back to this one, this is actually a triple insulated cable. I've never thought about it like that. It's got the inner cores, a second layer of insulation, the shield, and then a third layer of insulation. That might sound completely stupid now that I'm saying it. It's pretty bleedingly obvious, but so this is a double insulated cable. This looks like about, if I had to guess, it's bigger than 6mm. I'd say that's a 10mm. Have you got any marks on this cable? Markings. 10mm. Yeah, there we go. Very hard to see. That's probably not going to come up on the cam, but this is a pretty whopping big cable. I'll just see for shits and gigs and see if we can manage the same trick. I'm not liking our chances though here, boys and girls. Yeah, man, this is considerably tougher. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I'm already breaking cores. Yeah, so this one, might have to just get your screwdriver in, pull, screwdriver in, pull, screwdriver in, just ad nauseum. And I've got to be honest, if you are going to do this, I mean, when I the first VSD cable I did like this, because I didn't know any better. I was chucked in the deep end, but you just work it down one side. Mind you, it might look a heck of a lot easier. I was struggling before, but I promise it's just the cable being very cold. It's probably 7 or 8 degrees in here. Which I know a lot of you are like, oh, it's not that cold. But it's Australia, mate. It is freezing, as far as I'm concerned. Have it out with my Canadian mates on Instagram, and we talk about, you know, the differences in countries. I visited Canada a number of times, and I lived in the States for a few years when I was a teenager, and had a lot of fun over there. But the infrastructure against the cold in countries that are like very cold is considerably better than it is here. Like most of our buildings here don't have central heating. My house doesn't have central heating. If it gets real cold, the best I've got is my reverse cycle air conditioner. You can put that on heat, or you have a little floor heater. You know, having a boiler for an entire house is just not done here. In the colder climates in Australia, you might have a fireplace or a gas heater. Anyway, ad nauseum, you repeat this. I'm not going to do this because, you know, I'm not terminating this and they ain't paying me any money, but you just got to keep working it around. It takes ages, obviously, so I suppose you could pull it down and fucking keep going, but yeah, a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. I'll do it just for the video, alright? I'm going to speed this up though, because this is... Ugh. I'm getting all tangled up too. This is gross. Oh, I'm not having fun, so I'm going to leave it there, but just thought that was interesting with the parallel earth. Parallel earth. It's a 6mm cable. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, with a 10mm cable, 6mm cable is a 2.5 earth. A 10mm cable, I'm pretty sure, is a 4mm earth. Off the top of my head. So, I mean, they could be... I'm not sure they look like 2.5. Maybe they're 1mm just to get the... Or 1.5s to get... That looks like a 1.5. So they've got 3 1.5 earths to make up the 4mm. Table 5.1, AS3000. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Don't want to be wrong on YouTube, but anyway, we're going to leave this to that, boys. This is going to go in the scrap bucket. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you have enjoyed or maybe learned something. Pass this on to someone that's in your field and learning. That's what this is all about. Yeah. See you on the next one.